What's up? How y'all doing out there? Y'all know what time it is. You're now rocking with your boy Easy Work Boxing. About to hit you everywhere but under your feet with this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We got to talk about the upcoming fights coming on tomorrow. You know, I apologize to the fans or people who like my channel. You know, I be working. I be trying to get by. So, you know what I'm saying? I apologize to y'all for that. And I really don't like making gossip videos about who said this and who said that. I really like to talk about the fights. So we got, you know, Canelo Alvarez versus Berlanga. We got Lara versus Garcia. We got Plant versus Mccumby. You know, we also got, I think, Riley Romero fighting, but I don't know who he's fighting. I think he might be, I don't know if I heard them talking about Davis. I think they're talking about Howard Davis. That's possibly who they might be. I don't know. It didn't look like it was a Howard Davis, but whoever his opponent may be, you know, we're going to talk about that and other stuff as well in the sport of boxing. Now, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, you know, undisputed fighter. So can't take nothing away from Canelo. You know, Canelo has fought some of the best, you know, regardless of whether he, you know, made him come up in weight or not. Canelo, I think we could say has one of the best resumes in boxing, you know, or has the best resume in boxing today. But this fight right here, we all should understand is nothing more than a Tank Davis versus a Frank Martin. This is exactly what this fight is. A fighter that has seasoning, a fighter that's been in the game for a minute, fighting somebody that's really an amateur. You know, Canelo is at 60 fights, fighting somebody that's 17-0, who we have seen get knocked down before. You know, biting. I think if I ain't mistaken, Edgar Berlanga bit somebody before. If I ain't mistaken, you know, Edward don't have the skills to pay the bills. A lot of y'all out there probably going to give him a puncher's chance, which you always should do that, you know. But Canelo, you know, shout out to him as a Mexican fighter. You know, I don't think that Berlanga has enough power to knock out Canelo Alvarez. I think that Canelo is going to knock out Berlanga, you know, probably about the 7th, 8th round. I'm expecting Berlanga to get knocked out. You know, not taking nothing from Berlanga. I'm not a Berlanga hater for somebody to get on here and say, oh, you just a hater. You know, no, I'm not. You know, skills pay the bills, and Berlanga is going to lose this fight simply because he hasn't changed trainers to fight Canelo Alvarez. Now, if you're going out there and you're getting knocked down, which means your team is really relying on your power so much, and they think that that's going to get you by against a fighter like Canelo, and it's not. You know, I think he should have new trainers for this fight against Canelo Alvarez. Canelo is a different breed of a fighter. He's not them tune-up fights or them come-up fighters that you've been knocking out, you know, and you even been getting dropped by them. So I don't know what people are going to expect tomorrow night, but I'm expecting Canelo to knock out Berlanga probably, like I say, the 7th, 8th round. Easy work for Canelo Alvarez. You know, I'm really pissed off with Canelo. I'm sure all boxing fans should be as well pissed off with Canelo because I'm sick and tired of this ducking and excuses of, you know, him ducking David Benavidez. You know, this is shameful. This is something that the boxing fans, the boxing commentators, you know what I'm saying, when commentators, what they call them, boxing fanatics, will never forget about Canelo Alvarez. Nobody needs to pay you $120 million to fight somebody that's been your mandatory for about 4 years now. Nobody should pay you that. This is ridiculous. I don't know what the WBC is doing. Mauricio Suleiman over them is wrong what they're allowing to go on. Canelo Alvarez should be stripped of the WBC title if he does not fight David Benavidez. It doesn't make sense at all for this to continue to go on. He don't want to deal with the Turkey dude. He don't want to deal with his excellency, because his excellency want to make the fight. And like the Turk said, the only reason Canelo don't want to talk to him and make no deal with him because he know he want to make big fights and he don't want to pass the torch to David Benavidez. Now, I'm not a David Benavidez fanboy or nothing like that. I like David Benavidez. He's a hell of a fighter. You know, but I believe David Benavidez is really a weight bullet, which doesn't matter in this situation at all, because Canelo keeps talking about 25 pounds, but you go up and you fight 175 pounders who probably come in exactly 25 pounds more than you when you moved up to 175. So it doesn't make sense for him to try to use any weight advantage or saying that, David Benavidez has a weight advantage over him when you went up to 175 and beat Sergey Kovalev, which in my opinion was a rigged fight. Sergey Kovalev sold him that belt because Sergey Kovalev was going through situations where he needed money. And he made, I think, $12 million for fighting Canelo. And he leaned his head over into a right hand from Canelo. And all of a sudden, the Crusher, who beat Anthony Yarde, a solidified 175-pounder with a jab, knocking his head back. He beat a young, fresh Anthony Yarde. Of course, you're going to say skills pay the bills. I understand that as well. But how can a Crusher, who comes in, I think, probably after his defeat from Canelo Alvarez, come out there and beat Anthony Yarde, pushing his head back with jabs, even dropped, if I ain't mistaken, Anthony Yarde with a jab. But when he fights Canelo, he goes out there pity-patting jabbing like Shane Mosley used to. Come on now, y'all. We got to keep it real. Canelo is doing some coward stuff, cherry picking. This is a cherry pick fight. This is Frank Martin versus Tank. This is a fighter that doesn't have the skill set or the pedigree of a David Benavidez or a challenging fight for Canelo. I advise everybody not to pay for no pay-per-view. And I'm sorry. I know some of y'all want to see Lara versus Danny Garcia. Hey, if you want to pay for that because of that, but to pay for a Canelo fight right now is stupid. I wouldn't dare waste my money on it. The only time you should pay for a Canelo Alvarez fight is when he's fighting David Benavidez. If he's not doing, who's next for him? Who's next for him? David Morrell? I mean, neither one of them want to fight David Morrell. Let's talk about that as well. If we're gonna really talk about something, nobody want to talk about that. Why are both of y'all duck? Why is David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez ducking David Morrell? Why? Because see, David Benavidez was supposed to fight David Morrell before he fought Demetrius Andrade. This when him and his dad was something that talking about the dude don't deserve to fight and this, that, and the other. But now y'all some there hugging with David Morrell and respect this, respect that. If I was David Morrell, I was like, forget the respect. When your son gonna get in the ring with me? Y'all just ducked me like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, talking about I ain't deserve to fight. I'm gonna respect you as a father, as a man, but y'all ducking. Y'all need to come on and make this fight. Also, this is something I gotta talk about too. I was gonna make a video about this. Leonard Ellerbe. Now, I'm a grown man. Grown men shouldn't be out here fighting. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. You know what I'm saying? They talked and they did their thing like businessmen. But Leonard Ellerbe been telling folks for about a year now, a year and a half, that he will whoop Eddie Hearn, you know what. Am I lying? Comment and let me know if I'm lying. He been telling people that he will beat up Eddie Hearn, that he want a boxing match with Eddie Hearn. But when you and Eddie Hearn standing right there face to face, you smiling and profiling and having fun with Eddie Hearn. Now, like I said, I don't want to see two grown men fight. All I'm saying is, if you're going to say something, be about what you say, Leonard Ellerbe. Because you've been saying you will beat the hell out of Eddie Hearn, you'll do this to Eddie Hearn. But I guess when you seen how big and tall Eddie Hearn, which size don't matter, y'all. Size don't matter. But I guess when you seen Eddie Hearn face to face, it just took the fight out of you, Leonard Ellerbe. And I respect Leonard Ellerbe. I think Leonard Ellerbe is the best right-hand man in the world. Leonard Ellerbe should have a statue. I always say that of this is what a right-hand man should be. The way that he looked out, and carried Floyd Mayweather, always was by his side, never said did anything bad towards Floyd Mayweather. He's the right-hand man of the century, Leonard Ellerbe. But don't be out here running your mouth saying you're going to do something to somebody. And then when you see this somebody, you all teeth hug and smiles. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, I don't want to see no two men fight. I don't want to see them do nothing to each other. But I just got to address that about Leonard Ellerbe, because when you do all this and then you don't do what you say, we got to address that. But next we're going to go on to Lara versus Garcia. And I told y'all, Danny Garcia, hell of a fighter. Even though Danny Garcia runs from Terrence Crawford, every time that Terrence Crawford shows up in a division, you see Danny Garcia doing this. Every time Terrence Crawford show up in the division, he go Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? When he came, he showed up at what it was, 140. Danny Garcia. When Danny Garcia showed him, when Terrence Crawford showed up at 147, Danny Garcia. Terrence Crawford showed up at 154. Danny Garcia. He been running for a long time, but keep talking that trash and saying, oh, he willing to fight anybody. And then when they ask him, what do you feel about the Terrence Crawford fight? That's a big fight. Right now, I'm focused on Lara. I'm at 160. You know, Danny Garcia, come on, bro. Stop ducking Crawford. I want to see that fight so bad. That's the fight I want to see. Turk and them need to pay for that fight. But when it comes to Garcia versus Lara, Danny Garcia, you know, I told y'all in my short that Danny Garcia, the only time I've ever seen him, you know, adapt to a fighter, adapt to win a fight, it was against Matisse. He was losing that fight. Matisse was winning. Danny Garcia became the chameleon that his father talks about, and he adapted in the ring and beat Matisse. Since then, I have not seen that from Danny Garcia. I don't think Danny Garcia loves the sport no more. I think Danny Garcia just want to make sure that his bank account is still straight and he still got money. Even though he's a good businessman from what I hear and I understand, I don't think Danny Garcia has love for the sport anymore. I really don't. I think he just fight to make sure he never falls, which that's all cool. I understand it. And, you know, it's sad for his fans. I see Sleepless Jr., you saying you going for Danny Garcia. I don't think so. Danny Garcia is flat-footed. I don't think he got love for the sport like that anymore. He's had opportunities to be great. He ran from Victor Postal when he could have been he could have had 3 belts. Terrence Crawford had to come to that division and beat Victor Postal. Danny ran, you know, Danny ran from undisputed at 147. And let's just talk about the skills for a minute. Like I said, flat-footed. Danny Garcia, it's really not that much of a counterpuncher, but he is, I say, on a scale of 100%, Danny Garcia is like a 55, 60% counterpuncher. You know, he sits and, you know, he waits for his opponents to throw at him sometimes. Lara, in my opinion, is going to stop Danny Garcia. You know, even though Lara has been getting older and older, you know, he has stopped 3 opponents. You know, I think Lara has the better skill set. Lara moves more. He might frustrate Danny Garcia. I see Danny Garcia get hit in the face a lot with a left hand. If y'all ever seen Matt Corbo, which they don't show this whole fight, and PBC don't show this fight for a reason. Jamal Charlo versus Matt Corbo. Matt Corbo hit Jamal Charlo in his face so many times. So many times. I don't know how in the hell they scored that fight for Charlo to win. On that night, both of the Charlos really lost. Matt Corbo beat, man, he was punching Charlo in his face so much with them left hands. That's the night that his brother Jamel lost to Tony Harrison. Both of them were supposed to lose on that card. Because Matt Corbo, and from what they say about Matt Corbo, they say he be in bars drinking. But he was in shape that night of the fight. True enough, Jamel Charlo, you know, came out there and had a good 12th round, one good round. But if they show the full fight of Jamal Charlo versus Matt Corbo, you ain't gonna see nothing but Charlo head doing this. This is all you're gonna see from left hands. Whooping them. Whooping him. Whooping him. And that's what you're going to see Danny Garcia head doing. Left. 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 I'm expecting Danny Garcia to get knocked down and stop. If Lara go out there and put a high punch out, put out, which that's not Lara's style. Lara don't go out there just throwing wasting punches. But if Lara go out there and probably in the later round start using his hands a lot and, using his feints and his slippery movement and his, trick shots that he be catching people with, he going to knock Danny Garcia down. Danny do got a great chin. This is what I'm saying. This is why a lot of people be like, I don't think that's going to happen. He moving up in the weight class. Danny Garcia he he gonna lose something. He gonna lose speed or power. Speed or power. He gonna be one on. One, he ain't. I don't think he gonna lock Nora. He ain't gonna knock Lara out. Because I don't think his power gonna be there against a guy that's been at 160 for a minute. I don't think his power gonna be there. So if he don't knock Danny Garcia down, Danny Garcia ain't gonna leave with that belt anyway. I bet anybody that. And I'm not a Danny Garcia hater, and I'm not a Lara fanboy. Danny Garcia will not leave with that title tomorrow. He will not. No way possible. He can't. Yeah, Lara is a natural 154 guy, but you know he's getting older. He fights at 160 now. Lara probably come in probably like 170, 175. Danny Garcia, his weigh-in was at 156. 156. So Lara is going to be the bigger fighter that night. Lara is going to have the most power that night. So I'm going for Lara. I got Canelo knocking out Berlanga. I got Lara beating and possibly stopping Danny Garcia. And next we have to go on to Plant and Mccumby. Now, I don't know too much about Trevor Mccumby. I watched some of his highlights. Decent fighter. Decent fighter. Really no real names on his resume. You know, I think this is a big step up against a former champion, Caleb Plant. I like Caleb Plant, but when I saw Caleb Plant fight Canelo Alvarez, I lost a lot of respect for Caleb Plant. You know, he out there asking Canelo, you know, what type of dishwashing liquid he wash dishes with. You know, what's his favorite car while he in the ring fighting. I'm looking at the fight as I'm hearing. I'm like, is he serious? Like, is Caleb Plant really out there asking this man, do he like his skills? And he got, well, I'm like, is he trying to be Canelo friend? I lost all the respect for him. Give him respect for his fight with David Benavidez. David Benavidez was trying to beat the hell out of Caleb Plant, which he did, but Caleb Plant kept going strong and kept, you know what I'm saying, giving everything that he got. I respect that. He did better than my boy Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade went out there and quit on the stool, and I'm sitting there telling the world, ain't no way David Benavidez finna beat no Demetrius Andrade. And this thing I know, I look up Demetrius Andrade quitting on the stool. I said, oh, hell no. Hell no. Shout out to Demetrius Andrade. I'm on his channel, on his intro. You know what I'm saying? That's me on his intro. I'm on there talking as well. But he's still my boy. But I could not believe he let David Benavidez stop him like that. I could not believe that. And I'm still rocking with you, Demetrius Andrade. If you ever see my video, my brother, I'm still rocking with you like a cutoff stocking in the penitentiary trying to get waves. You feel me? But I could not believe you just let that man just stop you like that. That really hurt my heart to see Demetrius Andrade go out like that. But with McCurdy, you know, he's not really skill set. Not no special effects like Floyd Mayweather say, no up and down special effects about him. You know, he look like he got power. He throws punches in the right places. You know, but I don't think he ever fought a Caleb Plant. But the problem with Caleb Plant is Caleb Plant gas is out. If y'all ever noticed anything about Caleb Plant nowadays, when he gets to the later rounds, he goes to gassing out from all that movement. And so it's a tough fight. You know, of course, I have to go with the former champion. You know, I will have to go with the former champion, Caleb Plant. But you never know. One punch changes everything. And Mccumby looked like he in good shape. Yeah, he been a front runner. You know, no disrespect to Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant get out there, all that movement and finessing, you know, and you know what I'm saying? It wasn't looking too good for him in certain fights. But, you know, at the end of the day, Trevor Mccumby, you know, has never fought a Caleb Plant. And so this will be his chance to go out and show the world that he belongs on the stage with the top 168 pounders. So in this fight, I'm really confused about who's going to win, but I would say skill, smartness, and experience is the most important thing in a fight between Plant versus Mccumby. And so I will ride with Caleb Plant. I will ride with Caleb Plant. You know, like you said, it's your first time on the big stage, you know, especially against a former champion. So I'm going to ride with Caleb Plant in this fight, y'all. Not nothing against Trevor Mccumby. I just think that, you know, experience is a big key factor in a fight. And who you have fought is a major key in experience in a fight. And I've seen Mccumby do lunging punches, lunging hooks. You know, this is why I'm saying that I think Caleb Plant will get him. You know, he makes a lot of mistakes, Mccumby. But he looked like a strong fighter, though. But, you know, strong and flexing and showing your muscles and all that, they ain't got nothing to do with boxing. Now, he looked like he in shape like hell, but they ain't got nothing to do with it. And plus, I like this. You know how Caleb Plant knocked out David Morrell? I mean, what's the brother? The Morrell brother? Not the no. What's the twin, like the twin brothers? I call them the what I call them? Anthony Durrell and them. Yeah. I call them the technical win brothers. No disrespect to them. They risk their life, they get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? But I call Anthony Durrell and his brother the technical win brothers. You know, but when Caleb Plant, he do this thing where he fake like he go into your body and come up and hook you and knock you out. We might see that in this fight. We might see that that thing that Caleb Plant does, that special move that he does, the way he knocked out Durrell. I think he gonna probably try to knock out Trevor Mccumby with it. You know, because it's not about how you look or how your record look. It's who you are fought. You know what I'm saying? Whether you 27 old, 39 and 0, if you ain't fought nobody, you supposed to win and look like that. No, I don't remember seeing that. What's up, Jokers? Wild. Andrade was looking down the barrel of a gun and got caught like a deer in the headlights. The cool thing is Caleb always keep the dog in him, even when he gassed out. True. He keep the dog in him. I give him that. Mccumby win against a bunch of bombs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's that we know. You know what I'm saying? And this on another level. You know, if he should win, like I said, he belongs at the top with the best at one. The thing about it is this probably who Canelo gonna fight next. If Mccumby beats Plant, which I don't think he's gonna do, but if he should beat him, by December we should expect Canelo Alvarez versus Trevor Mccumby. The same way Tank Davis is finna go out here and fight Jose Valenzuela, like I told y'all. If you go check my resume and you check my videos, I told y'all that he was gonna move up and he was gonna fight Jose Valenzuela instead of him jumping up and going to fight a Teofimo Lopez. But this the face of boxing. This the face of boxing. This the fighter that can't nobody beat. This the baddest man in boxing, y'all say. Tank Davis. But y'all know he gonna beat Valenzuela. Valenzuela don't got no footwork. Valenzuela leave himself open. Tank gonna knock out Valenzuela. Easy fight. Cherry pick at his best. But yet, you say something about him, you wrong, you a hater. That's a cherry picked fight. An easy belt for Tank. See, everybody want to go up and say, oh, I'm a divisional champion. Become undisputed. See, that's why they hate Terrence Crawford so much. That's why they hate Terrence Crawford so much. Terrence out there becoming a legend. They just want to put their names in the Hall of Fame. Look at Adrian Broner. And I love AB. AB, four division champion. Never been unified. Never been unified. AB ain't never been unified. 4th division champion. Tank, never been unified. Tank, never been unified. 4th division champion, right? But hey, face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, ducking the hell out of David Benavidez. Face of boxing. Terrence Crawford move up, fight the best fighter in the game at 154. Oh, that ain't nothing. Even though they said that Madrimov was a big, strong fighter that could possibly knock Terrence Crawford out, stop Terrence Crawford's reign. But when Terrence beat him, Madrimov ain't nobody now. Terrence ain't beat nobody but Spence. This is what the casual fans say about this man. Don't know nothing about boxing. Ain't watched nothing. Go back and just watch a career highlight of Terrence Crawford and how they talk about the opponents and how Terrence Crawford would show up and put himself in positions where he could lose against real deal fighters at the time he was coming up. But he ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't the face of boxing. It's the two guys that's giving y'all fights that y'all don't want to see. They the face of boxing. I don't care about pay-per-view numbers. I don't care about pay-per-view numbers. I don't care about who got the most knockouts. I care about who going out there being great, man. Who going out there being great, man? Who trying to put their name in cement? Who out there trying to be undisputed, the biggest accomplishment in boxing? Shout out to Inoue, however you say his name. Shout out to Usyk. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them dudes, even though I think Inoue on steroids. No, I don't think Inoue on steroids. I know Inoue is on steroids. It ain't nothing nobody can tell me. Unless the Most High himself come out them clouds and lean his head down and say, hey, easy work. Inoue ain't on no steroids. Then I believe it. That boy's on steroids. Inoue is on steroids. And I'm not no hater. Shout out to my Japanese, Chinese, my Asian people. I love everybody. This channel is no bias talk, no racism. I've been watching boxing since I was 8 years old. Manny Pacquiao was on steroids, and Inoue is most definitely on steroids. Most definitely. Because I ain't hating on him. Hey, at the end of the day, we don't know who taking steroids. Me personally, if I was a fighter, I'll take them. I'll take them. Why wouldn't you take them? Like Floyd Mayweather, like they said, Floyd Mayweather said, if I'm mistaken, Floyd Mayweather said this. It ain't about who's the best, it's about who got the best doctors. You in a sport where you turn around everybody cheating, and my off season, you think I wouldn't be taking some? In my off season, you think I wouldn't be taking some? Keeping everything even. Come on, let's talk about this now. Floyd Mayweather, the man who came up with Olympic style testing, got caught with IVs. Floyd Mayweather got caught with IVs. See, people gonna talk the talk. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say that in front of a camera, but that's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Why, if I know everybody out here using performance enhancement drugs, am I gonna be out here and I'm not gonna use them either? You crazy. in a sport this deadly, where somebody could punch you in your head and rattle your brain, and you think, I'm not going to take nothing to? Shit. You got to be out your mind. I'm taking something too. I'm taking something too, boo. Let me see. Berlanga didn't have many fans at the weigh-in. It was all crazy Canelo fans. Canelo fans base carries this fight. I mean, of course, Canelo fans, he got a whole country behind him. Berlanga don't have a whole country behind him. That's why he keep trying to use the Puerto Rico versus Mexico thing, to sell the fight. He ain't even from Puerto Rico. He's just Puerto Rican. Just like Danny Garcia do that too. Danny Garcia ain't from Puerto Rico, but as soon as it's time to sell a fight, when they going against another Mexican, then they come in Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Mexico, and they ain't even from Puerto Rico. Danny Garcia went to Puerto Rico and got beat up by Mauricio Herrera. Do y'all remember that? In Puerto Rico. And they gave Danny Garcia the fight. Danny Garcia lost to Mauricio Herrera. Watch it and go look. Mauricio Herrera has an awkward style. And he beat up Danny Garcia in Puerto Rico, trying to go back home and act like I'm a Puerto Rican superstar now. Yeah, Danny Garcia lost that fight against Mauricio Herrera. But of course, they gave it to Danny because he's the champion. He was the superstar. He was the champion. He was the superstar. Mike Tyson versus David Tua. David Tua would have beat Mike Tyson. See, a lot of people don't even know who David Tua is. The Somalian with the left hook. Little short dude like Mike Tyson. David Tua was hell. He'll beat Mike Tyson. David Tua would have beat Mike Tyson. See, this something, and then this something. Hold on. Let Easy go in. Come on. This is why I tell y'all to rock with the best. And this ain't no hate. Respect to Mike Tyson. You understand me? Respect to Mike Tyson. How Mike Tyson fights was rigged. For Mike Tyson to get up on that stage on Jake Paul press conference and say he's the greatest fighter of all time, boy, stop it. Boy, stop it. Stop it. Go on Industry Hoax Reveal. Hold on, I'm finna type it in so you can go watch it. Type this video in. Industry Hoax. When y'all get out with me, go and type this video in. Type it in your search. Industry Hoax Reveal Mike Tyson. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word, because y'all probably might say I'm a hater. I'm jealous of another black man. Or I'm jealous because Mike Tyson has more money than me. Go and watch Industry Hoax Reveal. Mike Tyson fights was staged. And when they wasn't staged, he lost. A lot of y'all think when it came to Buster Douglas, he just had a bad night. No, Buster Douglas had a good night. That's all that was. Mike Tyson didn't have a bad night. Mike Tyson wasn't out there, like they saying, getting drunk in Tokyo and Mike Tyson been having sex and getting drunk and doing whatever he wanted to do when he was so-called knocking people out. But when Buster Douglas laid him out, it was because he was in Tokyo. Mike Tyson's career was staged. He was a ticket seller. And when you watch that video, you're going to say, oh my God, like I did. You clearly see people getting hit with punches by Mike Tyson that wasn't there, and they falling down. Doing all this like they drunk. No cap. I ain't got no reason to hate against this man. Shout out to Mike Tyson. Thank you for the stage fights and the fights that wasn't staged. I ain't jealous of no man. Staged. Talking about the greatest fighter of all time. Boy, stop. Boy, stop. Stop it. I ain't gonna. Oh, I'm all right. Since I'm going in, I'm gonna go all the way in. Y'all don't want to talk about how he sacrificed his little daughter to get back to make that money back there. How he sacrificed. Go back and look how his daughter supposedly died from a window blind that choked a 4-year-old baby out. Mike Tyson sacrificed his daughter, bro, to get back in the limelight. Yeah. With the same woman that he with now, he sacrificed his 4-year-old daughter. I give it to you raw, baby. I ain't got to hate on nobody. That's why Mike Tyson came back to the limelight all of a sudden. From $400 million man to zero and now back on his feet. He gave something up, baby. Y'all don't understand. These fighters are Masons. Marvin Hagler couldn't get a title shot until he signed a contract. Marvin Hagler couldn't get a title shot. This man was about 38-0, 39-0. Couldn't get a title shot until he signed a promotional contract. Easy don't talk cap. Easy don't give you cap. Easy don't give you cap, baby. But like I said, Canelo knocking out Berlanga. Lara gonna beat Danny Garcia. And if Plant don't fade out by the 6th round, I'm going with Plant because of his experience and his boxing knowledge and IQ. But if he don't fade out, I'm rolling with Caleb Plant in that fight. Who is Riley? Let me go look this up. Who is Riley fighting? Somebody please tell me. Let me go type this in. Riley Romero. He works Manuel. Oh, I don't know who this is that Riley fight. Let me go look up his highlights. Riley did a good job against Isaac Cruz, though. Riley did a good fight. Riley put up a good fight against Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz just was, I guess, too much for him, which if Riley had footwork and ring IQ, he would have beat him. If Riley had footwork and ring IQ, he would have beat. Riley was using his jab. I hope Riley is still with the same trainer who trained him for the Isaac Cruz fight, the old guy that he used to be with that was teaching him something. He don't need to go back to Bullethead. Bullethead ain't no trainer. Bullethead is not a trainer. He was training Riley off power only. The guy that trains Riley now, who trained Riley for the Isaac Cruz fight, he teaches Riley Romero's skill. Riley was looking good in the early rounds against Isaac Cruz. And Riley has great timing, which nobody talk about that with Riley Romero. Riley Romero has great timing. If he could stay with the guy that he's with and perfect his skills, Riley would be a dangerous fighter. With the power that he possessed. Go back and watch Riley versus Isaac Cruz. Riley has great timing. I'm telling y'all, just go back and watch Isaac Cruz and go back and watch some of Riley's other fights. Go watch against Tank. He just make mistakes. He ain't seasoned. He ain't got the boxing knowledge that he needs. He started late, but that boy got time. He has great time. Rolly Romero does. He does have that. But I don't know who this opponent is that he's fighting. Thank you for the donation. I thank you for the donation, Joshua. I thank you, Joshua, for the donation. I appreciate you very much. Thank you very much, my brother. But yeah, I just wanted to get on for a minute, talk. Y'all share the videos. I just get on and talk my little gossip. I'm gonna try to let me see if I can find something else. You know what I'm saying? Before I get off, just to give y'all a little bit more of how I feel about the sport that I love. Because I gotta turn my AC on. I be keeping my light bill. I make sure my light bill ain't high. You know what I'm saying? I try my best to make sure my light bill ain't high. But so Rolly was out boxing Tank the first 5 rounds. Yeah, but Tank do that. Tank is such an intelligent fighter. Even though he fights and he cherry picks, even though Tank is a cherry picker, he has a very high IQ. Sometimes he allows himself to get hit so he can watch your mistakes. Tank is very smart in the ring. You can't take that away from him. Very smart, very powerful. But he's a cherry picker. High IQ, high skill set, power out of this world, footwork, everything. Tank is on another level than most fighters. But he's a cherry picker. How you got 30 fights and you ain't know? How you got? Let me ask y'all this. As just a real boxing fan, just think about this. When the whole goal is to be undisputed and have a legacy in the sport of boxing, how do you have 30 fights and never been unified? How? If you think I'm a hater, just think I'm a hater. But explain that to me. Explain that to me. How do you have 30 fights or more and you have never been unified if you are not cherry picking? I'm waiting. Somebody explain that. I got 13 people on with me. If I'm crazy and I'm a hater, explain to me, how do you have over 30 fights and you've never been unified? Shakur Stevenson don't got all them fights and he been unified before. Shakur Stevenson is already a 3-division world champion. Been unified before. And he ain't got over 27 fights, 24 fights. Shakur Stevenson. So how is it, if I'm capping and I'm a hater, how is it that Tank got 31 fights and ain't never been unified? Shakur ain't duck Tank. They ain't make the fight. See, like I tell y'all all the time, whenever it's time for fighters that got a chance of beating each other, it's always a problem. Look at Canelo versus David Benavidez. Look at when it was Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. Look at it when it was Spence versus Crawford. Whenever it's a possibility that you could get beat, it's always a problem with negotiations. Ain't that funny? Just think about that. Every time it's a possibility of a fighter that can beat you, it's always an A side, B side, and who sold the most pay-per-views and who never been on pay-per-views. Just think about that. But when it's a fighter that they know they can beat, fight them. We got to fight. When it's a fighter they know they can whoop, fight made. Fight made. But when it's somebody with skill set and IQ and who grew up in boxing since they were 7 years old too, oh, he's not an A-side fighter. He's never been on pay-per-view. He doesn't make the money I make. What that got to do with fight? He's never fought a fighter like me. Well, he want to fight you. What does him not having a? What is this? The stupidest. I ain't this dumb. He hasn't. He's never fought a fighter like me before, but he trying to fight you, and you making excuses. There's no fighter on his resume that's like me. It don't gotta be. He trying to fight you. He trying to skip the guys that's below you and fight you. Since you the so-called king, you got all these skills, you got all this IQ, you can beat everybody. He don't want to deal with them. He want to fight you. But you saying because he don't have the other guys on his resume, you don't want to fight. You saying because he don't make the money you make, you don't want to fight him. You saying because he ain't never been on pay-per-view, you don't want to fight him. You saying because he with another promoter, it's going to be a problem fighting him. But ain't been no problem when you was fighting guys. You see what I'm saying? Y'all, come on, man. You use your head. Use your head. And then they come and they tell you boxing is a business. Ain't no business when you making them easy fights. Burning the box of voice. Did you miss me? Burning the box of voice. But when it's, they don't say no when it's easy to make them easy fights though. You see what I'm saying? That's all good. That's just like Teofimo Lopez. I like Teofimo Lopez. You know, he a hell of a fighter. But Teofimo Lopez, him and his dad is delusional. They delusional, man. They need to stop all this. Why is you over there trying to train with Canelo? What you over there for? What you over there for? Y'all remember when Canelo was fighting and Teofimo Lopez came up there with all them belts and trying to say, let me tell y'all something about Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo, if you are not recognized by boxing as undisputed, you are not undisputed, Teofimo Lopez. And I like Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is a very smart young man. He's very intelligent. When he goes to talk about, philosophy and life, Teofimo is a very smart guy. But when it comes to boxing, he's delusional. He's delusional. Ryan Garcia is becoming Teofimo Lopez too. With the delusional talking, Ryan Garcia is becoming like that. Ryan Garcia thinks that him beating Devin Haney has made him Floyd Mayweather. Ryan Garcia is very delusional right now. He thinks that beating Devin Haney, he never had a title. He think he's the face of Ryan Garcia thinks he's the face of boxing, y'all. Somebody need to tell him, bro, you got caught cheating, which y'all remember. I didn't believe Ryan Garcia cheated. I believe it now, though. You got caught cheating, and you beat a top adversary who you ducked Years ago. This is why I think he cheated, because I didn't realize this. You already had the opportunity to fight Devin Haney, and you turned it down for the WBC title. Then you fight him, and you get caught with PDs in your system. And now you say you're going to walk around with shirts saying boxing is boring without you. Boxing is boring without. See, these Twitter fans, these Snapchat fans are making these guys delusional when it comes to their legacy in boxing. Now these guys are out here actually saying nobody cares about belts. They're using the big fight factor to say nobody cares about belts because people want to see the big fights. And they're not title fights. No, Ryan Garcia, that's not it. People just want to see big fights. The belts matter. But which I don't like the phrase, Devin Haney. Devin Haney said, it's funny how belts don't matter when they ain't got none. Huh, fool? Huh, fool? Devin Haney said, it's funny how belts don't matter when they ain't got none. Huh? Oh, don't nobody care about no belts. We ain't worried about no belts. We worry about making big fights. Yeah, because you ain't got no belts. Say what you want to say. Devin Haney, undisputed. Even though he could never take that loss back, even though he got beat up real bad by Ryan Garcia, he can never take that loss back. Say what you want about Devin Haney. I know we don't really like Bill Haney, but Devin Haney, the youngest undisputed fighter in boxing. Devin Haney wanted to be great, and when it became undisputed, Tank ain't did it. Tank ain't did it. The face of boxing ain't y'all so-called face of boxing ain't did it yet. Say what you want to say about Devin, and I'm gonna clown him too. The first time I hear him say he undefeated in his next fight, I'm gonna clown the hell out of Devin Haney. But you can't deny the fact that this young man went out there and put his name in cement in the sport of boxing and became undisputed. And I don't like his daddy. And I don't like his daddy. Just to show you how real I am with it. Undisputed is the key, baby. Being unified, working your way up to be undisputed is the key. If they ain't doing that, don't tell me they no face of no boxing. If you ain't fighting the best challenge out there, don't tell me you no face of no boxing. When you sitting out in the backyard, cherry, boop, another cherry, boop, cherry. This Tank and Canelo, cherry, boop, cherry, boop. Canelo Alvarez is following Tank's last fight. Canelo Alvarez is following Tank's last fight. 17-0, no experience for real. 17-0, no experience for real. Smart move. Canelo Alvarez and Tank doing the same thing. Cherry, boop, boop, cherry, 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 cherry. Somebody say fight David Benavidez. Oh, I need $150 million. When the Turks say, oh, Tank, we want you to fight Shakur. Oh, you got to send me 2 Lambos to my front door. Listen to what I just said now. When it's time to fight David Benavidez, I want $150 million. For Tank, when it's time to fight Shakur, Turk got to send me 2 Lambos to my house. Why they ain't got to do that when you fighting Frank Martins? Why ain't nobody got to do that when you fighting Jose Valenzuela's? But Easy crazy. Easy a hater. I'm mad because they got more money than me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just want to bring another black man down. Canelo ain't black. Tank, oh, they got to send me 2 Lambos and put them in front of my house if Turk don't want me to fight. Why? Why they got to do that? Why they got to do that, Tank? Because you know Turk don't want to see real deal fights and they gonna make you fight somebody for real without a rehydration clause. You gonna have to fight a Shakur or Teofimo or something like that. Turk don't want to make them type of fights, and you don't want them type of fights. Where is this? First of all, where is all this money Tank said he was gonna get for these 6 fights? Where that money at? And I ain't watching his pockets. He got way more money than me anyway. I can't watch his pockets. I can't even see his pockets. They so big. But where is this money in it? And where's this list that Tank keeps saying he got? Oh, I got a list. Jose Valenzuela was on your list. Frank Martin, who didn't have a title, was on your list. Thank you, Anthony David. That's on your list. Unexperienced Frank Martin. A Jose Valenzuela? Why Teofimo ain't on your list? Why wasn't Devin Haney on your list? Huh? Why Lomachenko wasn't on your list 7 years ago? Why you ain't fight Tevin Farmer 7 years ago? Why you don't fight Ray Matala? Shakur Stevenson? William Zepeda? Why you ain't fighting them fighters? Why you ain't moving up to 140? Why you moving up to 140 and not challenging Teofimo Lopez? Mr. Never Been Unified, Mr. Rehydration Clause, the face of boxing. Why you ain't moving up making great fights? Why you keep picking fighters we know you're gonna beat? Why would I want to see Tank fight? Is y'all serious? Why would I want to see Tank fight Manny Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao was just getting beat up by a little Asian dude. Manny Pacquiao was just getting outboxed by some little Asian dude overseas in an exhibition. One of the exhibition match. Who want to see that? So Tank go out there and beat up Manny Pacquiao and do a backward flips beat up 55-year-old Manny Pacquiao and do a backflip off the ropes. Oh, Tank is unstoppable. He's a monster. Nobody can beat Gervonta Tank Davis. After he go and knock out Manny Pacquiao, oh. The same dude that went 12 rounds with a 38-year-old Gamboa, an old fighter with skills, an old fighter with experience. He went 12 rounds with a 38-year-old. Well, he stopped him, I think, in the 12th round. Come on now. Come on now. And it's good you put that up there. You want to know why they went 12 rounds? He said Devin went 12 rounds with Gamboa too. You want to know why they went 12 rounds? because Gamboa had experience. Just like riding a bike, your experience go nowhere. Your skill set go nowhere. You had two up and coming superstars in boxing who went 12 rounds with a guy that was 38 years old. So imagine what they'll go through when they fight somebody at their age and their prime with the same amount of skills. This is why fights are not made. Thank you for proving my point. This is exactly why they don't fight fighters with the same skill set and in their prime and been boxing as long as them. Because like you just said, Tank went 12 rounds with an old 38, 37-year-old Gamboa, and Devin did too. Because that man had skills and he had pedigree and he knew the sport of boxing and he had IQ. So both of them went 12 rounds. This is why they don't fight each other. This is why they don't fight each other. Exactly. Thank you, Boxing 227, for proving that point. Well, y'all, it's time for me to get off. I've been on for an hour. Please share the videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I just keep it real. I don't care if they black, white, purple, green. If they're out here cherry picking, ducking, or they doing something wrong, I'm going to keep it fair and square on my channel. We don't coattail. We don't penis ride over here. We don't do none of that. All right? This is a real boxing channel. I ain't out here they don't send me nothing. So if you want a real opinion from my point of view, stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. This your boy Easy. I'm out, man.